right. Good morning. Good morning, Mindy.
Good morning, Ramon. How are you today?
Great, great. Good
Good.
morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning steam. Well, good morning to you and I. Nobody's joined us yet, but we'll have our group. Maybe they're taking the day off, like our sports are taking the day off today. We
Right,
do have
probably
Monday
so.
night football, and we got a little bit of baseball. Not a problem. They, don't have enough games to keep us interested tonight. Football taking center stage, and football took center stage yesterday. I don't know, Mindy. Wasn't the best day of. I'm not talking about the picks. I'm talking about the quality of the games. I mean, this might have been some of the worst football league wide that we've seen. Certainly so far in the 3 weeks, but even in recent memory, I just some ugly games. The scoring is definitely down right now in the NFL as far as you know. I'm not talking about totals either. I'm just talking about touchdowns and field goals and things like that. So, I don't know. We'll make adjustments, and it just wasn't it. Maybe I don't know. Was it entertaining yesterday? I guess it's always entertaining. It's the NFL. There was a witching hour and all that BS.
To me, it kind of seemed like the weekend of missed opportunities. I mean, I don't know what these teams are doing. It looked really sloppy for a week 3. I think still entertaining because I think, defensive games are just as good. They're just as exciting, waiting for
Wow,
the breakout. But that's, how I feel about it.
you're so progressive.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, we had some winners on the show that we did pretty well on, I thought. I mean, we had the over in Baltimore New England game, and that was a good game. That was that might have been kind of a fun game, I guess, even though Baltimore kind of pulled away in the end. New England gave them a scare. Buffalo, Miami, definitely entertaining. No doubt about that. And Miami's a premium, but there's a little bit of controversy there. I mean, obviously, my back, injured back. That's why
Yeah,
I
when
can't
his
watch
head snapped
today,
and he couldn't go back to the, huddle in a straight line.
right?
And
See that?
again, I mean, I just like that's a game of missed opportunities there, leaving seconds on the field. It seems like it's happened a lot. I don't know what they were doing, not hustling up. They had 7 seconds. That's plenty of time to spike the ball.
There you get right, exactly there. We also had some free pick win. I guess did we nail the San Francisco Denver game as far as I mean? Look,
Seems like
I
it.
like San Francisco on a premium and I lost, but we definitely had the under on the show, and
Right.
we talked about some of the things that could happen. I think we kind of nailed as far as the way the game went. I mean, nobody was going anywhere. I think going into the game, we knew there was going to be a real struggle. I don't know if we knew it was going to be that much of a struggle. I mean, I don't know, the score was like 7-5 at one point. Everybody's
Yeah,
laughing.
I mean, that's a different game if he doesn't step out of the back of the end zone like that too, because then you got a probably a tie ball game there at the end, right? Maybe.
Yeah, of course, it could have been a turnover, but I know what you're saying. As far as
Yeah, exactly. I guess he threw the 8-point interception there. You're right.
right, so I thought that was one of the interesting results as well. So I know we did okay on the picks, but maybe we need to do a little better on NFL Sunday uh, moving forward. But again, we'll look at next week. But we got Monday Night Football, and welcome to the chat. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming in. Uh, we have time to elaborate, Mindy, if you want to comment on some of these. Uh, yeah, we're talking about that game, obviously. No doubt about Denver looks terrible. Or
Denver does
Russell
look
Wilson
bad.
didn't really get booed that badly because he probably should have at this time with a record, performance that he's never had so many 3-and-outs in a game. So guess he's not
Yeah.
going to get replaced or anything like that. So, did any other games? What about the Chiefs? So you could tell me about the Chiefs.
Oh, again, it was the Chiefs. They were the team of missed opportunities as well, right? It's just, going for a fake field goal, missing a field goal, a muff punt, the 15-yard penalty to extend the game to give the Colts a chance. Again, these teams just looked pretty bad, pretty sloppy. Not sure what was going on yesterday. But yeah, it was to me, it kind of looked like a big mess. I thought my highlight was actually watching that Jacksonville team.
Well, yeah, tell me about that because I guess your co-host here kind of said exactly what was going to happen when that game came, right? I think the
Ramon,
coach
there is
said,
a reason why you're the host of this show. You know that,
watch
right?
out. Herbert will be in there. And I still said, no matter which quarterback's in there, I want Jacksonville. The Chargers don't play up to par in games like this, but and the middle thing wouldn't have worked out. I mean, we gave out Jacksonville as the free play, but I said the best solution here maybe take the Chargers at this low point when they were just laying 3.5, but put them on the money line and then come back once you hear that Herbert is going to play. The line will go back up to 6.5, I guess it was, and the total will go back up to 46, and maybe you can get involved that way because I felt like the indication just the market indications were going to be wrong and that Herbert would, get an injection or whatever and end up playing. And it was funny though, he's getting 38-10 at one point and he's still in the game. And you're like,
why? Yeah. Right. At some point when he was just getting sacked constantly, overthrowing the ball, just not looking good, you would have thought they would have made that change a lot earlier. If you ask me, he just didn't look good at all. Like didn't look comfortable in the pocket, but I don't blame him because he probably feels pretty bad here today. But yeah. And then, I don't know. I just, I also was, interested in that Carolina Saints game also. We did a little fun deal with betting the first half on Carolina. So that was fun to watch them pull that off. And then that was something me and Ramon did after the show. But then also, it's one of those things with Winston again. He's just throwing those interceptions. He's like a Kirk Cousins. They're going to throw interceptions, 3 interceptions, or they're going to throw for 3 touchdowns. You just don't know what you're going to get with those guys sometimes. So yeah, I was kind of looking for the Saints to do a better job there in that one, and they did not.
Well, I agreed with you. You gave out the total over, and I actually had it as a premium over. I thought that with 2 quarterbacks that can be, I don't want to say they're overly effective or explosive. I mean, we do have 2 guys who, had some pretty stellar college careers. They can definitely, move an offense a little bit, but I was so dead wrong there. Now I did give out, Carolina as the side on our free plays, so that's okay. But we talked about, moving on the first half in that game, and what they were up like 13-0 or something like that, easy winner. But yeah, those teams right now. Other than Olave, I love Olave. This guy's going to be a big star. He had over 100 yards receiving, right? So, if anything, it was almost a breakout performance for him. And a little bit under the radar, I thought, because they lost the game. But I think he's somebody to look forward to. I don't think those teams got some work to do, I think, right now. So, we saw Cincinnati and the Jets. I thought interesting contest as well. And, Detroit, that was a interesting result, I thought, as well. The Lions gave Minnesota all they could handle. So, all right. Well, we got the one game tonight, Mindy. Just Monday Night Football and 4 baseball games. I don't know if they want us off the air. They don't give us anything to talk about. I don't know. We could dig up some soccer or some tennis or something. We'll just keep it light today. Keep a short show. We deserve maybe a little respite. We'll just do maybe half an hour here, cover the 4 games. But first, let's go over to, take a look at, I think, over at TonySpix.com. I think we'll maybe take a look and see who did well, or who did well yesterday. I think that might be interesting, something to look at. I know I'm not up on the leaderboard. I was a game under 500 for the day. A little bit worried there because of my NFL mark, but we will take a look now and see what's going on the handicapper leaderboards. Let's bring it up and see. All right, take a look at the handicapper leaderboards over there. Sam goes 5-2, and well, we did eke out a victory, huh?
Heck yeah!
4-3 for our premium consensus. Boy, I didn't realize that. Well, somebody had to win. I guess it was us, and also Tiffany. Well, also over 500, but not a lot. Team should have done better yesterday. I think, no doubt about it. Let's take a look at what we did with our consensus picks. I mean, I think we had baseball too. Don't forget.
Right.
So we did have some plays there, but we had the under in Niners Denver. We talked about. We whiffed right there on
Yeah.
Boston and Yankees, a 2-0 game. Also Green Bay and Tampa. We should have saw that one. That was a total market read wrong there, Mindy. I mean, look, they talked about all the receivers that were out. We talked about it. We knew what we were getting into. With the lack of receiving capabilities of the two teams, and the storyline was correct, and we were wrong. We were saying that we thought the quarterbacks could overcome the lack of receiving depth, and that wasn't the case at all.
There's only 3 scorers by each of those teams. I mean, that should be something they could handle.
We did have the Rams. We said delay it. That was okay. They weren't overwhelming, but the defense. We talked about how good the defense is right now, and they definitely were hot yesterday on Murray, making it pretty uncomfortable for him. Cleveland and Texas. We nailed that one with the over. I think we also were talking about Cleveland's ability probably to win that game,
Correct.
but we agreed on the total to go over. In that one, lost with the other baseball game with the Orioles. They were in it for quite a while in a low-scoring game, and then it got away from them. Baltimore and New England, an easy over there. And again, I think we were more in the minority there as far as that total is concerned compared to the public. We talked about the game just a little bit, but Mac Jones continues to be underrated, I think. Hopefully he'll be okay because he's only a game manager, certainly, but he seems to make good decisions at the right time. I know Baltimore got the cover. They kind of did it late as well, so it shows how strong they are. But the Patriots are still the Patriots. They were in that game all the way, scoring 26 points, obviously. Jackson, what can you say? Baltimore had their way in the end and gave us that total to go over. I know Tony had the Ravens as a premium as well in that one. And so, I don't know, a winning day for the morning steam consensus yesterday, and not much else on the site, man. Going to be hopefully turn around this coming week site-wise over there, because yesterday just not a lot going on, and only 4 people if you count you and I together.
Right.
Ending up in the green yesterday. And the NFL numbers, take a look and see what happened. I know as far as the day was concerned, we also had Ben going 5-3. So good job by Ben Collins as well in NFL 3-2, and the GM goes 2-1. So maybe there is a little bit of victory. Maybe the other sports kind of brought the team down, because there's definitely some winning accounts right there on the site from yesterday. So, okay.
Looks good, Ramon.
Yeah. Don't forget, use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. If you ever miss our morning steam consensus picks, you can pick them up in a convenient package. You could get it for just a week here for $179, or 3-day for $99. Now you get all the picks right here if you catch the show every day, absolutely free. But if you want to support us, or if you miss the show and you know that our picks are, doing well, maybe get involved with our morning steam package there as well. Or you could get Mindy and I on a 2-for-1 capper promotion and team us up together. Maybe get the morning steam account and a 2-for-1. Help us out, Mindy. Okay. All right. enough plugging the site because I'm just filling some time really with
Right.
today's schedule. And welcome again to everyone in the chat. Victor, hello, hello. Victor says, "Who came on here and called the Dolphins in the air?" That was Victor, I think, wasn't it?
Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. Let's see what we got.
Yeah. Well, I did have the Dolphins as a premium yesterday, Mindy. It's funny that the Dolphins, and also Victor, take a bow. That's what we want. That's what we want
Exactly.
here
You
on the
should be
morning
proud of your
team.
victories. They're hard to get.
Yeah, and the Bengals, yeah, they ended up putting it on the Jets a little bit, but like I said, the Jets were competitive in that game. Certainly, maybe the Bengals are finding their way a little bit, uh, moving forward. So, but yeah, I had the Dolphins as a premium, and we talked more about Tua, I guess, in the open, but. For all that went down with the Dolphins this year, they've kind of uh, fixed it up rather quickly, and they're one of the better teams in the AFC right now, I would guess.
Right.
And Tua, continues to perform well, and I don't know if I guess he maybe outperformed uh, Allen in yesterday's game, considering they won. The most important stat for a quarterback is wins, right?
That's right. That's right.
So,
nothing else really matters, right? All you need is the victories, and that's what counts at the end.
and when you can
Uh,
beat Buffalo right now, the
yep.
number one team, no one's knocking down Buffalo off their
Right.
perch with that. We just think the Dolphins are probably a pretty decent club. Beat Buffalo at home, a Buffalo team that really was beating Miami every single time. So Miami continues to do the job and continue to improve. And Matt D, Denver should be undefeated.
If it
Well,
wasn't for those Texans.
yeah, and again, I mean, we can laugh at Denver now, but I mean, they definitely had opportunities to win uh, uh, the game, and they did. I mean,
Well, the good thing with
Russell
them is,
Wilson,
they're winning right now, and all they can do is get better. So
right? I mean, if you're winning ugly, and yeah, I mean, they should get a little bit better. We talked. Sutton had a big day. I said that they had to get Sutton involved, and he made a lot of those key catches late when Denver started getting rolling finally in that game. But again, maybe it was that game that kind of soured me on the whole day because it was such a laughable game, kind of. So, all right, Mindy, let's. I don't know. We won't. I don't know if we can call it rapid fire picks today
right
because
now we can rapid fire them.
we'll just slowly present the picks and take a look at Monday Night Football to start us off with the Cowboys and the Giants. I don't know. This is funny. Remember, I said the game of the week now is on Sundays at 1 or Thursday or whatever. Now we have the Cowboys and the Giants, a real barn burner for Monday Night Football. But we can say it's a close game, so I guess that'll be fun.
Yeah, so it is going to be whether or not it's going to be a barn burner, right? The Giants, we know they've lost the last 10 here versus the Cowboys. Giants are 5th in rushing, 31st in the pass game. They have a 10th ranked defense against the run, 18th ranked here versus the pass. You have Barkley, though. He's still, quite the guy, quite the player. Second in the NFL, 236 yards rushing here per game. It's one of these that the trends have been a long time between these two individually, to the under. But for me, I'm going to take a chance here on the over between these two teams. Over's 5-2 in their last 7 meetings. I expect, not so much defense here today, I guess, from those Giants. Maybe people could take advantage of their opportunities here today. I'm going to take the over.
Well, you're definitely getting the best of the number. I mean, the way early number had this as high as 45.5. I think that was a Dak Prescott number, right? So
Right.
let's see what Victor has to say here.
Watch your mouth, Ramon.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I mean, I tell you one thing I used to love to do for about I want to say 7 or 8 years in a row back when in the day when I was younger and we travel around a little bit was I made it I went to the Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas for about 7 or 8 straight years. I had a friend that lived there, and I would just go there for Thanksgiving and go to the game. And I was at the Leon Lett
Oh,
game.
you were? Awesome.
That was the coldest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm from Southern California. I'm from San Diego. I really don't even, rarely see snow or anything like that. And to go to that game and I was not prepared with one pair of socks on to what was going to happen. That was the coldest I've ever been in my life at that game. But at least I saw a memory for a lifetime at that game. I also saw that Dallas play the Redskins a couple of times. I saw them play the Vikings. So
I used to love that Dallas Redskins game. That was my fave.
I always went to that game. And Matt says that we can look ahead to the Thursday night game. Yeah, will there be anything that, because usually if they can determine a concussion, I don't know, you wouldn't play the next week type of thing, so we'll see. I mean, there's like an investigation going on right now into that. And I don't know, to the naked eye, it just seems like if a guy gets up wobbly like that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, back in the day, you never had that issue. Two guys would get wobbly and, stay in the game or whatever. And, the real problem, I mean, the damage is already done when you've been hit, but what you're trying to prevent is getting hit again immediately afterwards, that's where we see it. The CTE is a real deal, and everybody that puts on these helmets, these weapons of mass destruction on their heads, now unfortunately we're all seeing the results of it down the line, years down the line, especially because now we think about, I don't want to get on a tangent, Mindy. This is a gambling show, right? But where the speed of the game over the last 20 or 30 years, I mean, people will still live long lives and stuff like that. But we're seeing down the road the NFL players and football players in general, have the CTE, and that's what they're trying to protect against. The damage has already been done, and anyways, we'll see if he's in there. Let's get back to this game, though. Mindy, certainly you like the over. Look, I think Cooper Rush, I mean, I don't know. I think the tendency is to maybe roll with the Giants a little bit at home. But, once Dak was out, the Giants kind of went up to a little bit more of a favorite than this. And maybe the Cowboys are starting to get some attention now because Cooper Rush looked decent in the last game. And I like Dallas in this game to win this game tonight. I'm going to give them out as my free play. I like Dallas. I like Cooper Rush. And so I don't want to necessarily, just because Victor said don't get against my Cowboys, I'm not picking them just because Victor said to. And he says he also likes the over. 26-14. Wow. And I know he's got to like his Cowboys here, right?
Right.
So maybe Victor thinks the Cowboys will get a 12-point victory on the road. That'd be really, really interesting. So anyways, I'll go with them just, maybe by 3 or 4 points. But I'm going to go Cowboys on the road. I like what I see from Rush. And there's nothing much else. We know what we're getting with the Cowboys, too. And maybe they still – if Dak's in there, right, what's the line, Mindy? Dallas
5.
by 4?
Yeah.
5? Is that
Probably.
what you said?
Yeah, 5.
So, it's definitely a downgrade, right? But we haven't seen, especially with the way Rush performed, we haven't seen him perform poorly. So let's give Cooper Rush a chance. We saw,
right.
we even talked about, how he played before last week's game. We talked about how he played well in his appearance last season. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys here, and you will go with the over. And there's our picks for Monday Night Football.
We got them. 2 great picks.
We have a 4-game baseball card. Don't know how crazy we can get with 4 games, but start to take a look at them, make sure these are the right pitchers. Actually, it looked pretty steady. Last night, there were 2 games already off the board, but we are seeing the lines now definitely in on these games. Let's start with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. The Ronci Contreras, $1.45 or so. The total is 8/20.
Yeah, so those Pirates swept the Reds last time out. Cincinnati, they're 3-7 their last 10 games. Anderson, he's 2-3, 5.21 ERA, and the Reds bullpen is pretty bad, as we know. Pirates, they're 2-8 in their last 10. Contreras is 5-5, 3.68 ERA, and we know that the Pirates probably have the worst bullpen. I don't know. I think this one's going to be kind of a wild, crazy game. I'm going to say there's going to be lots of hits, lots of runs. I'm going to take the over.
Well, I got to go with the Cincinnati Reds here. I mean, I've got a guy like Chase Anderson who's actually been pretty strong over his last few starts, a 2.57 ERA in his last 3 starts. You already mentioned, how poorly the Reds have been, and they're going under in 8 of their last 9. So I will caution you there. But the Pirates, 8-22, their last 30 home games. Contreras has a 5 ERA in his last 3 starts. So as a dog, they're getting $1.20 or so. This game doesn't have anything going for it. I'll go ahead. I'm going to take the Reds as my free play.
Talk about a barn burner here.
Well, look, Pittsburgh, you mentioned how bad, 8.64 ERA in the last 3 games. Meanwhile, Cincinnati, last 10 games. Meanwhile, Cincinnati bullpen, not much better, but at least they're under 4 over the last 10 games. So Pittsburgh's bullpen has been really bad too. So I think we've got the better starter and the better bullpen. And I think the offenses are kind of rather negligible. Pittsburgh's just hitting 171 against 178 against right-handers in the last 10 games, and Cincinnati's hitting 188 against right-handers. So you're going to need the pitchers to be bad because the offenses haven't looked that good either. But I get where you're going with that. Okay, Atlanta, and respect your elder. Big favorite here, 235. But look, if anything, I scored on the free plays with my Washington play yesterday with Anibal Sanchez. I know that.
That's right. Keep up the good work. Braves, they lost, the first 2 of the Phillies, and they kind of came back, won the last 2. They're on their 7-game road trip here. I think Elder, he pitches well. He only gave up 1 run in his, last 3 innings of work. Abbott, on the other hand, he's been pretty awful. Given up 7 runs in 11 innings and gave up 4 runs last time versus Atlanta here last week. I was thinking about, trying to get on, the Washington train with you, Ramon, but I'm going to take Atlanta here on the run line instead.
Okay, Atlanta -1.5 at -145 or so with Elder. Yeah, I probably should try Washington again, but more so, I think, for me in this one, I'm going to end up going under. We have Atlanta has gone under in 9 of their last 12 as a favorite. They've also gone under in 7 of their last 8 off of a win. Meanwhile, Washington has gone under in 8 of their last 11 as an underdog. And I think Elder is pitching. You mentioned how solid he is. He's got an ERA under 1 in his last 3 starts. Those games have all gone under. Yes, Abbott has been bad, but you do have 2 of the stronger bullpens right now in the league. Atlanta lights out a 1.5 ERA in the last 10 games, and even Washington just a 2.5 ERA in the last 10 games. So I'll take the under in this one.
Under for Ramon.
We might not have. Maybe we'll have a consensus one pick or
best
something.
bet of the day. But
what can you do with this schedule? And,
right.
Well, poor Victor calling Ronci Contreras garbage. Watch out, Victor. We're gonna call Ronci and tell him. Okay, the Yankees and Pedro Severino going up against Toronto and Gausman. Gausman's the favorite here at -$1.20 or so. Total 7.5 under 20.
Yeah, Severino, he's given up 8 runs in 4 innings, but he's 6-3 lifetime versus those Jays. And, Yankees average 5 runs per game here in this one. Gosman, he's given up 4 homers in his last 3 starts here. But he did limit the Yankees to 2 runs in 12 innings here this season. Yankees are 5-5 in their road games. Blue Jays, they said they're pretty good at home. I know we kind of missed this play yesterday, but I'm going to go back on the over on this one, Ramon. Over 7.5.
Okay. I'm going to end up taking, I think, Gausman here and over Severino. You have the Toronto 15-5 in their last 20 games as a favorite. Meanwhile, the Yankees, not often an underdog, but they are 2-9 in their last 11 as an underdog. So not performing really well when they're expected to lose. I mean, they're not expected to lose very often, but when they do, they do pretty well. The Yankees have done well here in Toronto, winning 9 of the last 12 meetings. Right now, both bullpens have been very, very shoddy, so I could see what you're saying here with the over. I don't know what necessarily we're going to get with I call him Pedro. I mean, this is Luis Severino, of course. Let's see here. Okay, Victor's still commenting on the Bucks game. No big deal, but I'll go with Toronto here at a reasonable price at minus $1.20 against Severino. All right, one more game. I wonder if
here we go, Ramon. Can we do it?
We might, yeah, we might have to force it. No, we never force it. We never force it. So, Boston with Baltimore with Lyles, Boston with Seabold. We just talked about the Yankees. We saw that game last night. We whiffed together on the morning steam play as we went over in the late game, and of course, it wasn't really even close. So, what do you see here though with Lyles and Seabold?
Yeah, Lyles and his 11 wins on the season. He's 1-1 with an 8 ERA in about 4 innings. He's been kind of hit, really hard here by these Red Sox. Even though he had a really nice outing, as we know, pitched a lot of innings last week. Orioles, they're only four games back of the Mariners right now, so they're trying to give it their run, and the Mariners are trying to allow that all to happen. But it's just one of those, Seabold, man, he's only been able to pitch usually about 2 innings or so because he gets, pretty lit up. I'm going to take a look at the over here in this one again today.
All right. I'll be on it with you. Let's have one play at least. That's the way I was looking, really, is probably my preferred play in the game. Now, here's the thing. Baltimore not really scoring a lot of runs on the road. But again, we got Dylan Seabold. Maybe we can go against, like you said. I mean, it's still a very, very important game. Obviously, for Baltimore, they're still alive. With Lyles, he started to struggle. You mentioned Seabold. He's got an ERA near 10 over his last 3 starts, and 10 in ERA overall, 10.5. So Jordan Lyles, 6.5 ERA in his last 3 starts, and the Baltimore bullpen right now, 5.5 ERA over the last 10 games. Boston, the ERA just over 4 in the last 10 games. I don't think it's a stretch to agree on this one and give us one premium play, if you will, one consensus play from the 5-day guard. Matt says, good day to clean off the desk. Time to jump on life or something. We're going to wrap up the show. Mindy, we'll keep it a short day here. We can maybe go out and enjoy the morning because of the lack of sports action. I mean, it doesn't even get underway till the evening. So enjoy your afternoon and we'll catch you again tomorrow unless you got anything else for us because of just a short show, a short card.
Yeah, I'm going to go cut the grass. That's what I got to do. Probably the last time before, the fall and winter arrives.
It'll be too cold to go out and do that. But
pretty soon, the grass just won't grow anymore, Ramon. We'll have to get you out here for the winter time. Get you some minus 12 degrees.
So we'll get started tomorrow on our college football coverage. Maybe it would have been a good day. Tony's got videos up, though, if you want to check out some Saturday previews. He's got a 8-pack of games up, I think, on one of the videos he's put up so far. He put his first video up on the YouTube channel for next week's games. Those are pretty much like a bulk of Saturday early games. So if you got time, check out Tony's previews already. We're rolling and getting ready for next week. Good college card next week, and of course NFL action, including Thursday night and the Sunday morning. Mindy, we're gonna be on the air when there's a game on next
I
week.
know. Can you believe it? We could do our live betting halftime report or something.
Yeah, it'll be right there, kind of in the middle of the game there, and they put actually a decent game there over there for one of those instead of Jacksonville and somebody. They actually put up two decent teams. So, Victor, thank you always for joining us. Yeah, look, he says that he watches a lot of games, every sport. So do I. That's why I'm always involved in those other sports as well. I just love I love the best in competition in any sport, really. I mean, I love it all. I mean, I like figure skating, Mindy, but you can't bet on that too frequently. So
not too much.
Yeah. All right. Well, great to be with you. I'm glad you came by, and glad people could spend a few minutes with us today on a short show, and probably the last short show. I mean, Tony keeps talking about those other sports.
They're getting ready. I see those hockey preseason scores coming in.
Yeah, well, I've kind of started to experiment a little bit with some preseason plays, not on the site. Don't know if I'll get any premiums together for preseason, but started to put a few feeler bets out there. That's how I do. I build it up a little bit, see where my winning is, and then come with it after it starts to settle out. So preseason goes for several weeks, few weeks in the NHL. So maybe we can come up with some. There are, I believe, maybe tonight would have been a kind of a good night. Tonight we got Islanders and Rangers, New Jersey and Montreal, St. Louis and Dallas, Los Angeles and Vegas, and Edmonton and Seattle. So got a little bit of a card there tonight. Maybe I should have put a little preview together, but nonetheless, enjoy the hockey, everybody. Mindy, thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, everybody.